So this is a shit show. Shit show kind of is the right word. So what this is we're doing custom building again. So that's what I do not like to do. I don't like to be involved in custom building at all because it's very hard to estimate the time, the materials, the costs, the actual plan, because when you get into the field or on location, everything changes. Once you dig down and you find things are different than what you thought under the surface and blah, blah, blah. So the posts in here are all out. Every one of them is out. Not one is correct. So that means we have to try and adapt to that.
I think the first post is correct.
Okay.
The first one was okay.
See, I can't tell if he's being human now because he's not moving fucking ease in that hot heat. Just monkeying around, playing with your wrenches. So the first one was correct. It was 24 inches from the tree. Kinda, más o menos. Not really. Kinda.
The other one's in reference to...
The other one's in reference, yeah. So you can see how like these plates, they're just not lining up right from the get-go. And then they were suspended above the concrete columns. So we had to cut holes in them and like fill it with concrete. And that's not what Rad Pad does. We finished the Rad Pad in like 2 days, pretty much. Like we built all the walls in the jig and welded and cleaned and painted, ready to go. And then we, cut our panels. They're all the same. So we just go ahead and make whatever it is, 60 panels, put them in place, call the window guys, put the roof on, doors, and it's a done job. But what we've done here is tried to outsource the columns. We failed. That cost us a bunch of days. I don't even know. You see, you can't even calculate how much that has cost us in time, money, and energy and materials, and coming up with alternate ways of making it work. So what we're gonna do, there you go. It's gym time, baby. When all else fails, do crunches. So basically what we have to do is we have to find, I met this dude, Ramas, if you're watching, Rama, you're my boy, I know it. Some guy that can build us platforms, cement platforms that we just put our Rad Pads on. Boom, 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 done and done. We like it to be above the ground for airflow, and that's one of the pillars of Rad Pad is airflow, shade, drainage, and readily available materials. So if we can find somebody that can just give us a freaking platform where we can walk onto it and put our Rad Pad up, we're literally days we have the Rad Pad going. But when we're monkeying around with trying to make foundations that aren't done and I'm sure I'm not saying they're done wrong, I'm just saying they're not done the way we need them done. So yeah, just a huge pain in the ass. And we're almost done with this custom build part, and then boom, we'll put up our Rad Pad and it'll look amazing. Well, sometimes things don't work out like they're supposed to, and I like to listen to music, and sometimes the audio doesn't come on the videos that I send to get edited. So this one, there's no audio. So I'm doing a voiceover. I have no idea what I was talking about. Something to do with lunch, eggs, sandia, and metal being chopped. So that's pretty much all I got to say about that, and hopefully this doesn't happen again, but thanks for your patience. Well, shit. It happened again. But today I'm not going to listen to music on my phone, so it's probably not going to happen again after that. This one looks like it's more about the building down there. We got a lot done. We're kicking some ass. Gabriel's welding like a robot down there, and we're almost done. I'm actually 3 days ahead of that right now, and I'll tell you, we are done. That's all I got to say about that right now, and I apologize again for losing the audio on that video. Right on. So these right here, these are the beauties of Rad Pad. So those are E's. We call them the Easy E system. Grew up with hip hop music. Easy E was a very influential rapper. So this is as easy as easy. They're just basically big E's, if you can see. And they clip together. So you take this one and it goes vertical, and you weld these parts here to the bottom part of the next one, and so on, and it wraps around the house. And then there's a couple special ones for sliding glass doors or windows, but they're all made on a jig, so they're exactly, the distances in between each is exactly the same to the millimeter. So there's basically 4 panels you choose in your house: the top, middle, bottom, middle, and bottom. You choose what you want in those. So we do recycled plastic, wood, glass, solid glass, sliding glass, or shutters, or just open net screen. And you choose what you want, and then, I mean, you can actually move them later. So if a noisy neighbor moves in or something, or you find out the sun position was different than what you thought, you can switch them out. So that is possible. But the deal is we can build that, like those E's, in maybe 2 days for a house. And then we can put them up on a house. You're about to see how fast we're going to put up the walls. What the challenge is the foundations. So building the foundation is something that can be outsourced to people. Just when you try to integrate the Rad Pad building system to regular work, you know, guys, that if I would have asked these guys and said, hey, will you build me a concrete deck in the jungle that is 5 meters by 7 meters, they probably could have done it, and they would have done a pretty damn good job. But if I asked them to put me 6 pillars that are this many millimeters apart on center level, with plates ready to weld on, it's challenging, you know. So we're currently 14 inches out wide and -7 inches in length. So that's a gigantic problem for a Rad Pad, because the Rad Pad is built on these E's, and it's exactly the same. So if you're 14 inches, I mean, 1 inch will give Gabriel, he doesn't even like to use the word inch. He likes to talk in millimeters, because I think inches make his heart palpitate wrong. And 14 of those inches in a row, he's having a very challenging time. So we've accepted it, and we moved on, and we're almost done with the foundation, and that's taken quite a lot of time, like a week's solid work on building a foundation. So what we've learned here is several things. When contracting in Central America, in Costa Rica, different than Nicaragua, obviously, but down here, doing your deal, do it in a text on WhatsApp, so that it's clear back and forth, and translator, and double check. I triple checked that it was $500 USD labor and $500 USD materials, and it was more than we wanted to spend on the 6 pillars for our foundation. But we said, whatever, let's give it a shot. So we gave it a shot. We gave them the, where the pillars needed to be located, and they were not put in that specific place, and it's just isn't. There's no way to say anything about it. It's cement, it's in the ground, and it's 14 inches too wide, and it's 7 inches too skinny. That's all there is to it. So it didn't come out exactly right. That's something I think you can only get from working with people, to know their level of acceptability, like what's acceptable to them for finishing work. But the contracting stuff, what I would recommend, and what I'll do in the future now, is going back to writing in WhatsApp, back and forth texting, yes, you agree, we're clear, over and over. What happened this time is we were really clear. I was really clear, at least. And, I said it in $500 para materiales y $500 para materiales. Materiales is 50% y muchacho es 50%. percente. And we were clear, you know, but I didn't put it in text. So then after the work started, 2 days into it, it was supposed to be 3 days, but it was more than 3 days. 3 days into it, then Gabriel, the builder, got a bill from the contractor that said $2,300, and it was like, whoa, that's totally a different number, like totally different. Like I don't even know where 500 or 500 comes into 2,300. But anyways, that's what happened, and so we've asked for a bill that is like a invoice. So it would say like 7 bags of concrete, 12 sticks of rebar, whatever it is, I don't care. Just so that we can see, okay, that's the amount of materials. I guess it was, you know, whatever. And then the hours, like how many hours each guy worked each day or whatever, an invoice like that. But they're unable to provide us with that. So we had to come to the end and say, listen, we'll take this as a learning experience and we'll go ahead and pay you. But that's the last time we get to work together unless we can get proper invoicing. So from now on, I'm not only going to do the text on the agreement and price, but I'm going to ask for a quote that's written down in the format that my accountant needs it to be in, because it just needs to be that professional, because we build professionally. So those are the 2 things I would recommend if you're going to be doing your own builds in Central America, is get an invoice or a quote, and get that quote broken down into materials and hours of labor before doing it, and then WhatsApp the price back and forth so that you guys are all super clear. And then working here is much better. So for us now, we just basically finish what we can with what we've been given, and then we get on to putting in the Easy system, which is our walls and roof and windows and doors and all that fun stuff. So things are looking up. This is a pretty exciting moment right now. This is the first E for the Easy system. So we're gonna weld this one laying down flat. It's gonna be our corner. And once we have the corner done, we'll stick it over on the corner and weld it to the frame, and then just continue to add Easy E's. So it's 12:18 in the afternoon today. We'll see how long this takes. Tricky to walk around because everywhere you walk, you can't make a bad step or else you break your balls. We got the first corner up, went up pretty smooth. We don't have clamps that we normally have, these big wood ones, so we're using this tie down, and it seems to be working all right. But Gabriel's welding like a champion, and we'll have the walls up here pretty soon. So end of day, we'll have the walls up. Just giving her, man. Welding everything.